we're going to continue with Herman on virtual results, and I think Emily is here to help with questions this time.
As Johanna said, my name is Herman. I'm an account manager here at RunSignup, and today we are going to be covering virtual results. I may be moving a little quick, but all this information is going to be shared. So give me 1 second and we'll get started, and we're going to do questions at the end. Thank you. So the first thing is with creating a race, when you go to set up your event, to be able to have the virtual/challenge event settings, you're going to need to set your event type to the virtual/challenge race. If you do not, when you go into the dashboard under your race day tools, enhance virtual race, and then set up virtual race settings, you're not going to see anything. So there will be a message that links you back to the race wizard, so you're able to change your event type. So what we're going to be doing mostly is going to be in the race day tools, enhance virtual race settings, and then set up your virtual race. So to start, the first thing that you're going to need to do is enable your settings for your virtual race setting. This is going to allow participants to be able to submit their times once they're done on your races. So the first step, what you're going to do is set the date range for when you're going to be allowing participants to submit their results. Most of the time, you would want to give them more than just a day or two for the event. Sometimes they might run and they might take them a day or two or a week or so to get around to uploading their results. So you do want to give them a decent amount of time. This date can surpass your event dates. So if you're going to run your event through a weekend or a week, you can still allow results to be submitted after that time frame. With virtual results, with the virtual result settings, you're able to set a result set. So when you enable a feature, you're going to have the result set to choose from. One is already created here, but normally it'll just give you a create new result set, and then you can just name it. Most of the time, it's just going to be named after your event. So it could be 5K results, 10K results, things of that nature, depending on how many you have. If you are offering teams, we do have team results that you're able to enable. And then if you are doing a challenge event, so let's say you're doing a 30-day challenge where you want somebody to do a mile a day for 30 days, you're going to want to enable that participants can submit multiple activities. This is going to allow them to come in each day and submit their times. And then you can decide what is able to be uploaded. So if you just want to do times, you can have that. Or if you're going to do a distance challenge and you don't want time, you can just have distance by itself, or you can have them both. If you're going to be, if you're a cycling event or you have biking involved and you want to collect elevation gain, that you're able to enable that also. Then you have the settings of how your results can be sorted, whether there's lowest time, highest time, and greatest distance. And then you can have the minimum and maximum time allowed. There's a few settings at the bottom. So you can have the ability to set it so that you need to approve all of the results that are posted. You can have it so that participants can mark that they completed but did not want to submit their time. So if somebody's walking your 5K and it might take them an hour or so, they don't want to put that up there, you can enable that. And what it's just going to do is going to still add them in the result set, but their time is going to be set to none. And then there's an option that I would recommend always having checked, which would be the last one. It says allow participants to upload their results using their email address or the last four on their phone number. This will save them some time because some participants, they create an account to register for the race and they don't revisit it and they forget their password. This will just save them some trouble because they can just put their email in or just use the last four digits of their phone number to submit their results. So with the result set, so if you're going to set up the alternate event submission, what this does is allows an event to be pointed to another result set for another event. So let's say you have a 5K event and then you have a 5K youth event because you wanted the different pricings, but you want everybody to be in that same result set. You can point that event to another event's result set. This works well for challenges. If you're going to have an overall challenge event, you can set it so that participants are able to submit results for those different events. So kind of what it looks like if you have an alternate event solution. Once somebody comes to submit their results, they'll see a drop down, which where it says right now is just race 1 June. They could click on that, and then all of the other events that they're able to post results to will be listed there. And if team results are enabled, so this is what it will look like when you're on your event, when you're on your results page. There's going to be a link to the team results, and then it'll take you here. So as you can see, the clock time and then the distance is listed for all of the events. And then if you click on one of the teams, it'll give you a more in-depth look. So you'll see the total distance of the team. Team results is how many people have uploaded the results. So then we're going to get into activity types. So these are more specific to challenges. So if you're going to have, if somebody can run, they can walk, they can bike, swim, anything like that, this is where you're going to enable this. So you can add as many activities as you would like, and they're giving you a few different options of what they can do. So you can have a max tally. So let's say you do a 30-mile challenge where somebody has to run 10 miles, bike 10 miles, and swim 10 miles. You can set the max tally for each of those events to 10. You can also require at least one of an activity or require at most one of an activity. The one thing that you're going to need to remember with when you require at least one of the activity, the participant will not show up in the results set until the activities that are required have been completed. So if you have a run that's not required, and let's say you have a bike that is required, and they do the run first, they're not going to show until the bike has been completed. You're also able to allow splits to show in your results. And if you want, you can have a time entry or not. All right. So then if you look within the result set, you can see that the splits for the different distances. So right now, the activities are run and walk, and then they have the pace for the run and the pace for the walk. And then you have the miles. So then when you click on somebody's results, this just gives you a more in-depth look. Instead of looking at the results, this is just a specific person's result set. So you can see their overall distance. You can see the activity tally. So this is how many they've done. And then also, if you have uploaded, you're able to see a progress map of how far along they are within the challenge. So if you look, this is a 200-mile summer challenge. And so far, 3 miles have been done. Okay, so goals is how you're able to get that nice map at the bottom to track somebody's progress. So when setting up goals, you can set it to have all of your participants have the same goal, or you could let your participants define their own goals. So if you wanted to do an open challenge, how many miles can you get in a month? Somebody can come in and they can set their own goal, and this will just be based on their own personal preference. You can have a progress bar show on their results. So it'll gauge just how far along they are according to their goal. And then as you can see, if you enable the map, you can have that set for that. So with uploading a map, it will need to be a KML file. You can use Google Maps, Google Earth, or Map My Run to create that map. And then you're able to add it into the system for it to show up on participants' results. So with the map, you can show progress if you get more in depth. It's going to be for the individual results. So once you go into somebody's results, that's where the map will show. It's not going to show on the main results page. And a cool thing about the map is that if you look, there's a little icon that will show the progress of somebody moving along the route. And then the virtual result submissions is how the participants are going to submit their results. So there are a few different ways that they're able to do this. I believe the easiest one would just be going straight to the results page, because this is back where they're going to register your main race page. You'll have a results tab there. So once they go into that results tab, there's going to be a button for them to submit their virtual results. So if they're not logged in, it'll give you the option to put their email or the last 4 of their phone number in. if that setting is enabled. The second option would be within the profile. So if you're on any RunSignup page in the top right, you'll see the little shadow icon. If you click on that, it'll direct somebody to their profile. And also go to runsignup.com/profile, and it'll take you there. And what you would just need to do is scroll down to your upcoming events. And as you can see on the event, there is the button to submit the virtual results. If you have text messaging enabled, they're able to text in their results. With texting, bib number is going to need to be assigned, and it will not work for challenge events, and you can only submit time. So if you're going to have time and distance, you're not going to want to use text message results. Another option is if you are using RaiseJoy, which you can get through your certified timer. If you don't have a certified timer, you can search one, and we have the tools that you can get in order to work with one. And they're able to submit through the app once they're done their activity for the day for each one. And we do support it for challenges now, so they can do their activity every day and they're able to submit through RaiseJoy. So another way that they're able to do it is that they can submit through a file. So if they run with a Garmin, any of those tracking runner apps that they have, I think Nike has some, things like that, what they could just do is download that file and upload it. The thing is with this, it is going to need to be a GPX file, an FIT file, or a TCX file. Where we do not accept any other formats with files. And then to do this is when they are on their results page to upload their results. As you can see right above, there's a load activity from file button right here that they would click on. This is going to give you the pop-up window for them to drag and drop their file in. So a cool feature with virtual races is going to be the digital bib, because a lot of participants, they do like having the bib as a keepsake. If you did watch Whitney's presentation before, if you saw behind her, she had a few bibs from a few different events that she's done. So with the virtual races happening, bibs really aren't being handed out. So we've created a tool that you're able to have a bib created that participants can print off at home. So what you would just need to do to have a bib, you would need to have bib numbers being assigned. This can be done at registration time. So you can just go ahead and go in and set it beforehand. And this way it'll just go ahead and take care of itself as participants register. You're not gonna have to worry about it. So where you would go to set up your bib is in the race day tools, bibs, and then customize digital bib. Now, with creating a digital bib, it's pretty straightforward. It's just a few steps. So with choosing a template, you can use from one of our template designs that you have. We have those on the right, or you can create a bib on your own by uploading an image. As you can see, the 775 pixels by 600 pixels work the best. Then you can add any image that you would like, and that would just be the background on your bib. So once you have the bib uploaded and saved, and then participants begin to register, they can access their bib through their RunSignup profile. What they would just need to do is go back in and scroll down under their upcoming events. And then there's going to be a link to view pre-race bib. And they could just click on that and then print it out. Something else that a lot of races would do is just send an email to their participants using a replacement tag. This is normally done maybe a day or two before the event. This way you're not missing any registrations. Everybody's going to get that email with just the link to their bib. So this way it's going to save you some questions of possibly, where do I find my bib? So if you're looking at it, this is kind of what a digital bib would look like. There's a few customizable things you can add. So you can add the participant's name, you can add their time. If you have any sponsors, you can have your sponsor logos added. There is an option that you can add customizable text. So maybe if you have a race motto or anything like that on there, you're able to add that to the bib. And as you can see, the custom background with the race logo on there. And then there is the option to print, and then they have the share button so they can share on their Twitter, their Facebook, send an email out, anything like that if they want to show off that, hey, I'm doing a virtual run, here's my bib for it. And it's just like a little keepsake they print off, they can hang on their wall or put it on their board just as a keepsake, as a little memorabilia that they did complete the event. And with that, we come to the end of the presentation. I have a few minutes for questions. Are there any?
Hey, I think we have a couple, we've answered most of these, but there's some that I think would be worth sharing again, and then there may be some other ones come out. Is there a way to do a challenge where you're tracking the total distance of everyone who's doing the challenge, not just a single person or a team?
So you would need to set that up with cover pages. So it would still be individual or team, but you're able to add an overall check for everybody that's doing it. But to do that, cover pages would need to be enabled. There is a component that you can add for that to set an overall goal, and then that whole overall goal will move with the total amount of miles that all of your participants have done.
Another question too was related to teams, Herman. I was digging into this, but if a team has a different like number of persons, maybe one team has 4 and another team has 6, does it rank the results like by pace, or how does that work against other teams with varying members?
No. So if you are going to have teams with different size members, I would suggest setting those up as separate events so they're all grouped together. But if not, it'll just go based on how your virtual result setting. And so if you're going by distance, one team has 6 members and one team has 3. The team with 3 members is going to be at a disadvantage because they're competing against more people.
If you're doing a hybrid event, can you still use virtual results?
Yes, you can. So you would just have your different result sets. Well, you could combine them if you would like, but what we'd just do is that you would have an event for your in-person, and then you would have another event on your race page for the virtual. And then you would just still go through the normal process of going into the race day tools and then the virtual settings. And then you would just enable the virtual result settings for your virtual event. And then those virtual participants can still upload their times from home.
I think that covers everything that's in here. If anyone else has anything, we still have a minute or 2 left. You can continue to put them in, or we can let you go. Cool. So the next session that's going to be in here at 3:30 is actually a little bit longer. It's a full 50-minute session. It'll be with Natalie and Matt, and it's on advanced participation management. So this is really for people who understand some things about the system and perhaps did some movement in 2020 to do deferrals or to use the postponement tool, and have a lot of kind of cleanup things to do as you go into 2021. If you want to jump into one of the other rooms, there are 2 different sessions then that will overlap the one that's in here. So in room 2, we'll have a RaceJoy overview at 3:30, and then a session on sponsor value in RaceJoy at 4 o'clock. In room 3, it's going to be setting up a donation form at 3:30, and then payment account reporting at 4, following some of the new payment account reports that have come out. Jackie, I have not seen many races award prizes to virtual runners in her hybrid events. I would definitely recommend separating them out from your regular runners if you're going to do that. But I really haven't even seen many virtual events, even in a hybrid, that are doing awards for the virtual component at all. Thanks, Herman.
All right, you're welcome. Thanks, guys.